Thank you so much to Pavi for creating this challenge for us. We're looking at the sales and profits of SuperBytes, the supermarket. I have the completed workflow at the top of the screen, but why not build it quickly together? So we'll bring in one of these tables here, so 2018 to 2022. And rather than bring them all in individually, since we've kind of had a look through the Excel file, we've seen that the tables are all of a similar structure, we've decided we're going to union these tables together. And we can do that in a wildcard way so that when more tables come through, so for example, when 2023 data arrives here, then that will also be included without us having to manually change anything. So let's choose the union multiple tables, folder. And you can see which tables are going to be included, so 2018 through to 2022. So you just need to remember to hit that big blue button, that apply button, to get that union to happen. And you'll see that we get a couple of extra fields there. We get our table names and our file paths come through after that happens. So I always like to put a clean step in where I just view the data and see what we might need to do with it. And not make any changes here. So some things that we're identifying we might want to fix. This field name here being F1, this is clearly just the quarter. We probably don't need the file paths, let's get rid of that. And this table names could be renamed to be the year. So let's add in a clean step and make those changes. So to get rid of file paths, I right click on it and I say remove. To update this F1 field and rename it, I can just double click on the name there and type in my new name of quarter, and same thing for the table names, so I'll just rename that to be year. Lovely. And now we're kind of looking, I'm going to add in a new clean step. It's kind of good practice to split things up into different sections, so you can see that in this one I was just renaming fields. In this section here I'm now going to deal with these sales and profits fields. So we have these units of K for 1,000 or M for 1,000,000 that we need to go ahead and change so that these are no longer string fields, but actually they are numbers that we can work with and add together. So the way that I thought to do this for the sales, for example, was to duplicate this field actually. So right click on it and duplicate the field. And in one of these, I'm going to get rid of these units. So in this one here, our original field, I'm going to say clean and remove the letters so that I don't have that K or M at the end of my number anymore. And then in this sales-1, I'll rename it to be sales unit instead rather than sales-1. And I'm going to get rid of all the numbers instead in this field. So clean this and remove the numbers. Now I'm going to have those commas for the thousand separators and the decimal points still, so I'm going to also clean away the punctuation, remove the punctuation there. So I've got the units and then the actual numeric values there. Since this initial field is now only numbers, I can change it to be a number decimal so that it is now a numeric field. And then I'm going to write a calculation. So I'm going to update my sales field. And I'm going to write an if statement. So if that sales unit is equal to K, then I am going to multiply my sales field. Then I'm going to multiply my sales field by 1,000. Else if my sales unit is equal to a capital M, then I'm going to multiply the sales by 1,000,000. And then I end my if statement. So if the units are different from M or K in future data sets, this will just result in a null, but that's okay. We're going to do it that way for now. So that's the sales field fixed, and we would just do exactly the same thing for profit as well. So that's what I've done in this step here. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do that as well. So let's just pretend that we've updated the profits and go into our aggregate step. I chose pivot by accident there. Let's go into our aggregate step instead. And we want to group by each year and we want to sum up the sales, and we want to also sum up the profits, which we can't do because I haven't done that cleaning of the profit field as well. So there is no option there to sum up those values because it's a string rather than a number, but that's okay. And then we just take a look at our data. We know why we're missing the profit. I'll just show it here. So in my aggregate step here, I have my year, my sales, and my profits. And then that's what you can see in our output step. And then I've just added on an output here so that it writes to my data sources folder. And we can see those 5 rows, 3 columns for our data set for the output. So thank you again to Parvi for this challenge, and thank you very much for watching.